which is what we wanted to hear.
Okay, so Daniel's getting listed. Do you want me to say that or no?
You can, yeah, that's fine.
300 pounds in the last 2 years. But I just want you to know, like, if you're not an organ donor, it saves lives and it's going to change ours. And we're so appreciative. Like, I'm gonna cry.
Do it.
Am I allowed to cry on
Yeah,
YouTube?
you are.
Hi, my name is Carla. Welcome back to the channel. So this is a channel where I am really sharing my personal story. My husband Daniel almost lost his life to COVID in 2021, and around here we just kind of talk about all the struggles of being a caregiver and the things that I've learned from the Bible and the Word of God, and pretty much sharing that. And then in this particular series, I am sharing the process to get Daniel on the kidney transplant list, and hopefully when he gets a transplant, document as much of that as possible, which I know will be kind of difficult, but we're just kind of documenting this for ourselves, but also for anybody out there who is going through a similar experience and is curious. So today, I am working on a couple of things that the Transplant Center is requiring of us. And if you just kind of want to catch up on what's been happening with our story, I am going to link the videos down below. I did start filming these videos on another channel that my husband and I share together. But on that channel, we're just going to focus on our podcast, which if you're interested, you can also listen down below. I do have some links for that. But I am going to focus the rest of kind of our journey on this channel. So we went to the Transplant Institute. I will link that channel down below for our third appointment with them, where we finally got the yes from the surgeon that Daniel will be listed on the transplant list. But just because he gave the go-ahead doesn't mean that he is officially going to be listed. We have been told that really what it means is that now he can kind of go to the next step of the process, which is that he will be able to move forward with getting presented to a committee that is going to make the final decision about whether he will be listed on the transplant list. And if you see this mess behind me, Daniel has taken up a new hobby, which is Lego sets. So, and big ones too, and they are just kind of taking over the house. So I made the executive decision to put them in my office and just throw them on top of a table and call it a day. But they are just, yeah, taking over. But I have my planner here because I just got off the phone with his transplant coordinator. She's assigned to his case, and basically her job is to make sure all the ducks are in a row in terms of like his insurance situation and his other clearances from his other doctors and all these medical tests and labs and things that have to be current. So, but she did give me a list of things that they are requiring for, or like that she would like to have in order to present Daniel. Oh my God, there is the cutest little cat outside my window. So I am currently preparing some things for tonight. I have red kidney beans in here, and I have black beans in here that are just going to be soaking because we're gonna make chili tonight. Daniel just gave me the idea. I guess he was watching someone on social media who is making chili, and he was like, yep, that's what I want to do. So I'm just gonna prepare that, and then he has to go out and buy some of those ingredients for me. Like we need some ground beef, tortilla chips and stuff like that. And I should have avocados. Yeah, these are pretty soft, but I'm gonna assume they're good. We're gonna go with that. Anybody else get like extremely frustrated trying to make doctor's appointments, trying to just get the simplest of things done? Because I sure do. I sure do. My husband had an echocardiogram, and he needs that to be sent over the results to the Transplant Institute because he is getting kidney transplant. So I'm trying to see when it is that he had it done.
He had it done July the 7th.
They're going to be faxing over Daniel's echocardiogram, which he had done last July. So that means we should be good. We shouldn't have to do another one because those I think can take a little bit to get scheduled. It's not like you can get it scheduled the same day. I know with labs you can get them done pretty quick, but not something like that. So okay, one thing checked off the list. I should be getting faxed. So I have some beans that I've been boiling for like an hour. I do a combination of red kidney beans and black beans, but of course after cooking with black beans, the red kidney beans turn dark as well. But that's totally fine, and we are gonna turn this into chili. are on our way for Daniel to get his labs done. So it is Friday, and we just did not want to wait for this to be done next week, because that can so easily be a disaster just because he has to get presented on Thursday of next week. And what the transplant coordinator told me is like, hey, we need those labs to marinate for a few days, right? Because we have to get those results back in before she can kind of move forward with the process. So we are on our way to get them done. We had to do them, or we are having to do them like 25 minutes from our house, just because they're being done at a hospital that is on that same company or group of hospitals, so that they have the same system. To get a hold of the transplant coordinator, because and like the number that she had called me from is not working. It's almost ringing like if it were a fax or something. And let's see if we can get some stuff confirmed. I just don't want it. It's already Monday, and I just don't want things to. And the thing about like health related things, it keeps you busy. You can only get stuff done Monday through Friday, and then once it gets to around 4 or 5 o'clock, it's like, obviously people just stop answering the phone, and of course by 5 things are closed.
You have reached the confidential voicemail if you are a post-transplant patient with an emergent matter.
I was just calling in to make sure that you received the records from his cardiologist for the echo. Just a little tidbit, when it comes to like managing chronic conditions and things this serious, it can get a little bit frustrating, confusing. It's hard to reach people. It's hard to know who to call. You get so many different names and phone numbers. So one of the things that's working really well for me, and I am going to link another video down below on how we organize multiple areas of our lives when it comes to like the health stuff. But my favorite thing is a planner. Like this one has pockets right here in the front, and this is a new one for 2023 that I just started. And then the weeks look like this. They're just like empty, but they also have like a note section, and I just love the fact that it has pockets. I got this one at TJ Maxx. It was pretty inexpensive. I find it really, really pretty and minimal, so I really like it. I need something that's both functional but also pretty, so that I don't hate using it so much.
Yes, she's a registered nurse, so it
I know. Otherwise, they have approved you to be listed for kidney transplant, which your insurance requires authorization to be listed. So they're already working on that, but it could take some time because insurance tends to be a little bit slow.
No.
I've been feeling like I've been drowning for the past how long?
Honey, but I told you they were going to say no.
You just everything's up in the air.
No, I spoke with her. She's like, they just want to know that he's good to intubate because they need to have that on file.
Yeah. It was nice. About time.
Yes.
Yes. So, probably have another month, but it's official. The committee cleared us, so we get that kidney this year.
Still feel like I can't believe this.
I know, but I'm gonna start planning the party. Like I feel the same way about that too. Holding my breath until I'm on the list. But what was really scaring me was the committee, because I know that like a lot of times with medical stuff, the big thing is the insurance company, money, and stuff like that. But from my point of view, what I've been seeing are the physicians, and I'm not saying it's like. I'm not trying to knock on physicians, but like the physicians I've dealt with over the years, like after being sick and stuff like that, some of them have been very harsh, very, very cut dry. I feel like they just see my paperwork. They don't really see me as a patient. And it's scary when you're not in front of the committee. You're not the one presenting stuff. So it really is all paperwork. So that's why I was nervous, but cleared. So it's a big that's a big relief. I gotta call my mom.
So I decided to sit down and kind of do like a recap of everything because I don't even know what this video is going to turn out like. I feel like I have been filming this video for like 2 weeks now. So I wanted to sit down and do a recap of where we are in case it's not super clear with the rest of the video. So today we got the official phone call that the transplant committee is happy with everything and they are going to move forward with listing Daniel. This is amazing. This has been this has been over a year in the making, like 14 months. It's been a long process. It's been almost 2 years in the making, honestly, because we have been pursuing the transplant list to get Daniel on the kidney transplant list for, since the summer of 2021. It's been almost 2 years. And to finally get the yes, after we've had so many hurdles. We had hurdles with, he needed to lose more weight. We had hurdles where he needed to get surgery. Then he needed to do this. And then we had to wait 6 months because that is what they require after bariatric surgery. And to finally get a yes, you are approved, we're moving forward, they're happy and satisfied with everything. Oh my God. And this is 3 weeks after we were told by the surgeon that yes. So anyways, I am going to just do a quick summary. So like I said, since 2021, we have been pursuing the transplant list. Super exciting, right? In 2021, we put applications out for Daniel to different places that we are close. So we did 4 transplant centers. We sent our applications out to all of them, and it was really simple. It was like paper applications, and then we submitted them to his dialysis center or turned them in, and then they send them out. Care coordinator, not a care coordinator. She's just a caseworker. A social worker. I think she's a social worker. And she basically let us know that everyone said no because Daniel was still weighing over 300 pounds at this point. And so they all said no, his BMI was too high and he needed to lose weight. And so we were like, okay, we understand he was currently like exercising and working to lose more weight. But when you're on kidney failure, when you're on dialysis, that's really hard to do. You just don't have the energy. And you could pass out, which he did multiple times. But we were like, okay, fine. But she said, but one transplant center in Orlando, Florida said yes. And that was about an hour from us, hour and a half with bad traffic. So we were like super excited. It took a few months to get into an appointment because they did require several things before he could even show up to the appointment. Like they had to check his insurance and check a bunch of stuff, and then finally got the go ahead to go to that transplant center. Now this is in December of 2021. We have the appointment in December, and basically they tell Daniel, we're willing to move forward, but you need to lose more weight. Come and see us in a few months when you lose like at least 50 pounds. So we were kind of bummed out. And so a few months later, like in March, we started the process for Daniel to get bariatric surgery. Now, bariatric surgery in the hospital that we chose was a whole process where insurance had to approve it. And then Daniel had to go get cleared by a psychologist, and he had to go and get clearance from all of his specialists. And he has a pulmonologist, a nephrologist, of course, a cardiologist, a neurologist. All of the specialists had to clear him. He's cleared for the bariatric surgery. This took a few months to get all these clearances and insurance to cover things. Oh my gosh, we worked so hard on that. Like that in and of itself was an entire program that he had to go through. He had to go through multiple appointments where he got educated by the nutritionist or the dietitian about what was to come. And then he also had to go to a physical therapy appointment where they would kind of see where he was at physically. And it was a whole process, you guys. It was a whole process. So finally goes through with the bariatric surgery. He gets it in June of 2022. At this point, 6 months after our initial visit in December 2021 with the transplant center. A month later, we had a pre-scheduled visit. We knew he hadn't lost enough weight, but he had lost over 50 pounds. So we knew that, that's what they required for us initially, that he would at least lose 50 pounds. Now, it was a month after the bariatric surgery, so we knew there might be some issues there because he was so fresh out of surgery. July rolls around, we go through the transplant center for the surgeon to take a look at him again. And basically almost on the spot, he said, I want you to lose more weight. His health was declining and we were starting to get a bit scared. And so we were starting to get very desperate for him to have a kidney transplant. Just because dialysis was, it was bad. Like he was weak, throwing up, all these things. So yeah, it was getting scary there. I have to be honest and say that for a few months, I really was scared I was going to lose him last year, at the end of last year. So yeah, so we are a bit desperate for this transplant at this point. So I call in about maybe September, I think it was. I call into the transplant center and I said, okay, we didn't get a definitive of like when, at what weight does Daniel come back to the transplant center? So the nurse tells me, I'm going to call a few people, figure out when your next appointment should be. She comes back and she tells me that it's going to take 6 months before they can see him again. He had the surgery in June of 2022, and they're saying you got to wait 6 months before you can come back. So we scheduled an appointment for January of this year, 2023. Their policy is after bariatric surgery, they need to give the patient 6 months for their weight to stabilize. Daniel lost in those 6 months that we were waiting over 100 pounds, up around 130 to 140 pounds, which he should have never lost weight that quickly, but his health declined and complications occurred, and that happened. So we go on the 24th, and that is where the last video had ended up, at that appointment. And now almost a month later, after that last appointment, I will link down the video of that appointment so you can kind of see what happened. But they have officially cleared him on the transplant committee. It's just amazing, an amazing feeling. And that, I don't know if you can hear it, Daniel's like clapping over there. Daniel literally cried. I hope I caught it on camera. Daniel literally cried when the coordinator calls us today and says the committee, because the committee met the week after we had that appointment where the surgeon said he was willing to present him to the committee, because in those other appointments, Daniel was never even presented. There's a committee that makes the final decision of like, he is medically cleared, we're going to approve him for the transplant list. So he had never even been presented to them until last month. For the above stated reasons. He had to lose weight and he had to do all these things. Just a bunch of hoops to jump through. So getting this call today is just monumental. They presented him the week after we were there, and they asked for labs to get done, which is what you've seen in this video. They asked for records to be sent over. I got a phone call from the coordinator about a week and a half ago saying that they wanted anesthesia records from when Daniel had his bariatric surgery, because in his medical history, he had a tracheotomy. I'm always like tracheotomy or tracheostomy, but you know what I'm saying? He had a trach. And because of that can cause patients when they have surgery to be really hard to intubate. But that's never been an issue for Daniel, which I wasn't worried about that at all, for them to say no because of that, because it's never been an issue. But I had to, you guys know how it goes, do the runaround, call the hospital, have them fax over records, and they say it's going to take 5 days. And we were on a time crunch so that they meet every single Thursday at the transplant center, the committee. And I was trying to get everything done in time so that he could get presented. And unfortunately, the records didn't get to them in time. But that's okay. So we had to wait a whole other week until Daniel was presented today to the committee, and they said yes. Guys. Daniel and I, since yesterday, have been on the edge of our seats. We have been, I don't know about Daniel, but I have been like crying, nervous, just all sorts of like trauma, and a lot has happened in the last 2 days as we are waiting for this phone call from the coordinator that it's happened. He's been listed. So to hear her say those words, yeah, you got a yes. It's just freaking amazing. It is amazing. It is life-changing. We are freaking out. We are nervous, but we're not fully listed yet, okay? We are not fully listed yet. So Daniel got the yes. But now they have to submit everything to the insurance. This is standard procedure, so it's nothing like we're really reframing. I'm reframing the way I'm thinking about it, because Daniel's like, it's not a big deal, and I'm like, I'm already getting negative. because I'm so used to every time we're very close to be slapped with this, oh, not yet, actually, this has to be done, or this is in the way, or whatever. It's always like another hoop to jump through, and that is really frustrating. So it's almost like I don't want to get my hopes up and then get a really bad disappointment. But anyways, so this is a lot. But yeah, we're super excited. I mean, if you have any questions, leave them down below. This process has been absolutely insane. We're both very, very excited. Daniel cried when he got the news that we finally got the yes. I had no idea he was even this emotional about it, but he was. And yeah, we're very excited. Don't forget to check down the videos I will link down below, and some that are gonna pop up here on the screen. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.